Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the big show, the Big 3 DFS show, joined as always by the money man, Adam Wagner from the ATX. And we got a special guest this evening right now, a very lucrative guest.
The real money man.
Listen, Dave Zidek is in the building with us today. Actually cashed $10,000 this week. Actually, 10,000 plus. I know there are a couple other contests he took down, but Dave, welcome to the program. Very glad to have you with us.
Thank you, fellas. Thanks for having me on.
Now, obviously, the first question that I have with you is, when you win an amount like $10,000, what are you going to do with the money? Like, have you booked an escape plan to Tijuana? Are you going to buy extra Christmas gifts for everybody? I mean, what are you doing?
Well, the first plan of business is going to be to see how these taxes shape out. I'm not sure how much Uncle Sam's going to take from my winnings, so make a little tax appointment here, probably in February, and then see how that goes with what she tells me.
Hey,
Probably
Wags.
take half of it, boss.
I was going to say, Wags, we actually met a good tax guy there at the DFS Players Conference, but it sounds like you already got a tax guy. I got a tax guy here in Jersey. I mean, I got a guy for everything in Jersey. That's the
No
lingo.
doubt.
That's what we do here in Jersey. So, but that's good. I'm glad that you won that. I'm glad that you're here with us tonight. As we get throughout the show, we'll get to different points throughout the process of how you did it. As always, the lock sleeper wild card segment is coming up. Now, Wags, what's a Christmas like in Texas? Please tell me.
Well, right now it's like 78 degrees, so
It's
it's kind
basically
of
78 degrees here too in Jersey.
that's crazy. I guess it's a warm front all over the coast or the nation here. But normally, I mean, it's pretty cool. Austin's a really cool town. Dave's been down here to visit every now and well, just once he came down for a West Virginia Longhorn game. Yeah, they weren't disappointed. I mean, hell, I think he found more sympathizers for WVU than Longhorns when he came down, to say the least. But yeah, I mean, Christmas is pretty cool. They still do their omelets on the tacos, breakfast omelets every morning, man. It's just it's a different type of culture here, man. It's pretty cool. It's
love
warm.
me a
We still
good
do
omelet.
Elf on the Shelf. I mean, it's cool. It's warm, but it seems to be warmer everywhere.
I got little cousins that do that Elf on the Shelf thing, and I got to tell you, I can't wait for that elf to get off the shelf because that thing is creepy.
snitch.
Who knows if there's a microphone in that thing? Who knows if there's a camera in there? I mean, who knows if he's touching people when people are sleeping? I mean, I can't have the Elf on the Shelf. All right. I mean, thank God I'm over the age where there is no elf on the shelf in the house. But if I were of age, that certainly would not be going on.
There's always an Elf on the Shelf in my house.
Hey now. Now, our buddy Chris Sweet could not join us. He's at a pretty shitty cheese and wine party this evening, so we have to forgive him for being out of context. But listen,
He's out on assignment.
that's what happens when you're married. I mean, he's scouting out all the prime vino box wine for us for the next time we all get together. So
Absolutely.
I'm excited. Now, what he also did mention is that Illinois actually banned the DFS today. They considered it an illegal state of gambling. So, Dick, what do you think about all this?
Oh, man, state by state, they're trying to knock it down as quick as possible. I guess they need to get on some type of plan here to come up with a little better solution. Need somebody to stand up for them.
Yeah, Michael Jordan's got to still have some clout there in Illinois, so if anybody should step up, it should be him. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah, really.
most of these DFS players, they're buying his shoes. They're still taking fadeaway jumpers in their mind and video games and whatnot. I mean, Jordan, you're the guy here in Illinois. We got to talk to Jeremy Roenick. We got to talk to the Fridge. We got to talk to everybody here.
J-Ro.
Ryan Sandberg. Sammy Sosa. I mean, the list goes on. Andre Dawson. We need to talk to these guys. Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt. We need to put the Big Hurt down on legislation. I feel bad for my Illinois brothers in this one.
Lobby lawmakers.
But guess what? Guess what? Just like New York, I want to say unlike Vegas or Nevada, but you guys will overcome. You gotta take the good with the bad and just realize that something's coming. Hopefully, it's legislation, but unfortunately, this is the time that we're in nowadays with the DFS game where you're gonna be having to play a little Frogger with the government. So You know,
Well,
Zedek knows about this too, not having to pay the taxes. So
Yeah, no
Texas
doubt.
is talking about doing it too, man. We just got something that, you know, Attorney General Paxton, we're supposed to sign a
John.
petition, so to speak, for our Attorney General Paxton to get this going. I mean, we're just trying to get proactive here. Like Dave and Al alluded to, the people watching at home, it's a trickle down effect, state by state, a knee jerk reaction. So, I mean, if you love DFS like we do, get involved and get proactive now. Get ahead of this. Sign a petition. Call your local representatives. You know, keep this stuff that we love. I mean, hell, this is a guy that we have on our show right now, our special guest. He's a very routine guy. He gets up, he does his thing, he goes to work, he hits the gym, he comes home, he does some football, and repeats it over. He just hit the American dream doing what he loved, and now people want to take it away from him because they can't regulate it. Too bad you got into the game late, pal. That's all I gotta say.
Man, you see that soapbox, Adam?
What's I did not see that soapbox.
Oh, it might fall down off of that thing the way you're preaching.
I'm just saying, man. I got a degree in government. I gotta let it go to you somehow. Maybe I'll lobby the lawmakers.
Shit, I don't know any lawmakers. They're trying to do bad stuff to me. Shit. All right, let's get here for the reason that we did the Lock Sleeper Wildcard segment. Every week, we take each position that you find on DraftKings. We don't even deal with the kickers because they're not even real people. We go with the quarterbacks, the running backs, the wide receivers, the tight ends, and the defenses. Break them down into 3 categories: lock, sleeper, wild card, as we see them fit. So, Zedek, you're the big winner this week. We want to start you off. Who do you got as a lock at the quarterback position this week?
This week, and now it's going to come to you as me looking like a blind homer with this big Steelers logo on my chest. But I got to go with Big Ben this week. Nah, Cordell, maybe next week. Go with Big Ben this week. He's got the Ravens. He's got a good price point at about $6,800 on DraftKings. The Ravens are a middle-of-the-pack defense, giving up about 240 a game through the air. Nothing special, nothing great. They've been playing from a pretty bad defense this year, but Pittsburgh is on fire right now. All you got to do is look at any sports center, any NFL Network, the Wagner Wire, check anything, and it's all about the Steelers. Jaworski was just calling them the greatest show on turf part 2, even though they play on grass. Figure that one out.
Yeah.
But Pittsburgh's put up 30. Yeah, Jaws, thanks. But Pittsburgh has put up 30-plus points 6 weeks in a row, and I don't know if you can get any hotter than Pittsburgh right now. They're going into Baltimore. It's usually a late game with a lot of playoff implications. The Ravens blow here, thank goodness. But even in Big Ben's last 6 games, he's had 1 game under 330 yards passing. I look for him to have another huge game this week. You could stack him with Bryant, who's very expensive, but a cheaper route is definitely Martavis Bryant. Or if you go a real low end, you might be able to squeak out some points with Marcus Wheaton.
Yeah, now, I thought you were a little kind to your rival there where you say the Ravens are a middle-of-the-road defense. They are a shitty defense. I mean, Alex Smith even got a little busy on him last week. Now, granted, he had the help of his defense as well, but, this Ravens defense has been very bad all year, been giving up huge passing games. And it's funny, too, because, if we look back to our season-long draft, we had people taking the Ravens defense over, I don't know, teams like the Broncos or, hell, even the Packers, too, as well. This team has absolutely fallen off a cliff from what they were at the beginning of the season. Just injuries all over the board. I've heard a couple of people talk this week that, this is a rivalry game. This will be a close game. No, it won't be because the same players that are usually in this rivalry game
are not in there.
They're hanging out with an air cast at home, drinking like almost Arnold Palmers and whatnot. So. This game is going to be an absolute blowout. Big Ben getting to it. I'm going to get to this game a little later for my for the running back position, but good to hear Roethlisberger there. I agree. Definitely going to be probably one of the safest plays this week that we can see. Wags, who you got this week?
My lock is right there with my man Dave. It's got to be Ben Roethlisberger with the Ravens allowing 242 through the air. That's absurd. I mean, that sounds like middle of the pack, but it's really not. I mean, their secondary's been exposed, and if anybody can burn any defense, we saw. I mean, the greatest defense in the NFL, the Denver Broncos. I think Dave wrote about this in his follow-up for his big $10,000 win there. It doesn't matter what defense is back there. You can put Talib out there on him. It doesn't matter, man. He's going to smoke you, dude, and I'm talking about AB. AB gets it done. You heard Dave say, combo it up with Roethlisberger, with Big Ben. It's going to be a heavy price, but you got yourself a smaller target with Antonio Bryant, or with Bryant going down there, or Antonio Bryant. I got him crossed up. Martavis Bryant, yeah, he's the cheaper option. But still, I mean, either way, man, both these guys have speed. Bryant's got the size. Brown's got the speed. He can burn you all over the place. It's no surprise, man. It's got to be Ben at the lock. Especially, I think he's like the sixth price overall. Sixth cheapest. I mean, he's down there. He should be up there. I mean, especially for this matchup, this guy his price value should be up there. It should be one of the top.
Yeah, he's a very comfortable price. Not something that's going to break your bank, and again, not something.
He's below 7. I know that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that you're going to be like, oh my God. Now, the other week when Cincinnati played Pittsburgh, I was like, all right, well, at least this game will be close. We'll get some points. I'll have Andy Dalton. Well, hopefully he doesn't throw a pick and then try to go make a tackle and we don't need that kind of thing. With my lock of the week, I'm going to go a little off the board here. He's a guy that we usually see in our sleeper segment, but Blake Bortles this week, 6,500 at New Orleans. Now, I do think that New Orleans is going to win this game, so I guess that means Drew Brees will be a pretty good play as well. I do think that we're going to see an absolute ton of points in this game. Everything I look at on my projection sheet shows that Jacksonville is just going to put up points from every single direction. I do think that New Orleans will have a very good day. Now, Zedek, you don't necessarily get that unless you watch the show a lot. But what I like to do is, when we see a Monday Night Football game, whoever lost that game, I like them to come out with a lot of vengeance next week. Now, while New Orleans might come out with a lot of vengeance, it's not going to be their defense. It doesn't matter what they do. You can, have sex with all their mothers, their sisters, and everybody right in front of their faces. They're still not going to come out with a lot of vengeance. These guys are the softest bunch in the entire league. So Bortles with weapons like, A-Rob, Hearns, Julius Thomas. I mean, this guy cannot be stopped right now at a 6,500 price point. We're going to see a lot of points at the Superdome on Sunday. So make sure you get Bortles in there because, he is cheaper than Breeze just a bit. And, we don't know. I guess Breeze is going to play. I mean, he's not out. He's got that plantar fasciitis, which is good.
I don't think he's going to play, boss.
I don't know. Maybe he wants to get those yards up against the Jags. We'll see. But regardless, I do like.
He's a warrior if he can go on that.
Listen, even if Breeze doesn't play, well then whatever. Then guess what? Then Bortles gets to go against the Saints defense, and I'll take anybody. I'll take me left-handed against the Saints defense.
I'll take that for $1.
I'll be throwing screens like a mother. You don't want it. All right. Any other locks, real quick?
Not for quarterback. I think we've pretty much put that baby to bed, man.
Did it?
No, I'm good on the locks, man.
All right. I have another one, but we can carry it over to the next segment. We can just do more sleepers or wild cards. But Zedek, what do you got for a sleeper?
I don't know if I want to technically call him a sleeper, but he's close. We're gonna, and this kind of piggybacks off of your Monday night game. Although the Lions did not lose, Joyke Bell had a big game. Past 2 weeks, he's averaging like a carry. He's not putting up any monster fantasy numbers, but his price point on DraftKings is like $4,000. He's going against the Niners defense, which is atrocious. The offense isn't any better. Offense is going to be 3 and out a lot, I think. It's at Detroit. Weather's not a factor. Look for Joyke Bell probably to get at least 12 to 15 carries. Hopefully they spread it around a little bit and just pound them and get out of that game early. But $4,000 for a starting running back against a bad defense, he's probably just about a sleeper.
Yeah, we were going quarterbacks. My bad. That's all right. New guy.
I thought you switched it up. I'm sorry. New guy. Hey, new to the party.
Yeah, man, no worries, man. It's a learning curve, man. Learning has a curve.
I gotta
Well,
check
at
my
least we
email.
know what his sleeper running back is. He likes to show his cards around here.
I wouldn't sit at a poker table with him either. He'll take your money there
You know,
too.
I thought I realized that at one point. I was like, yeah, you know what? He's rolling. I'm gonna let him go.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, all
Now,
good.
if it was Wagner, he would have cut me off in about 13
Absolutely, I was
seconds.
just getting ready to say, dude. I'm notorious. Like he goes, Wagner, shut up. Literally, our conversations go 30 minutes because I have to interrupt him every time he gets a sentence out.
Hey, when in Rome.
Right, exactly.
All right, so I get real quick for a sleeper at quarterback.
At quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh man, quarterback. I wasn't on that mark there. You caught me sleeping.
All right.
I had Bortles as my number 2, and you stole that one from me.
That's all right. That happens a lot. That's my number 2 as well. So.
All right. Well, let me keep it in that same game that Zidek talked about. Detroit. I like Matt Stafford, 6,100 up against San Francisco. The projection sheets are a buzzing with Detroit production. They've come every direction. So Jacksonville and Detroit are buzzing with projections this week. So when's the last time you heard that one? Hey, Jacksonville and Detroit are going to light up the scoreboard this week. But I got to tell you one thing. What month are we in? December. I know it doesn't feel like it, but guess what? Those are both two offenses that are going to be indoors this week. So
absolutely, great point.
We're not dealing with like a Minnesota or like a New England or anybody like that. We're going to be indoors for this one. So I do like Matt Stafford again. Golden Tate just was unbelievable against the Saints. And what was kind of crazy is that Calvin Johnson was going against Browner most of the time last week. So not a bad play there. I'm a little shocked. I know Calvin was a little hobbled up, but we'll get to Golden Tate a little later on in the show.
I got to give it to my boy again, man. I was going up against him in the advancement for the championship in the semifinals in my league, and I was just like, I don't know, man. I think Megatron's gonna have a huge day going up against this defense of the Saints, and he goes, no way, dude. I don't like it at all. I said you might want to get Tate, but Megatron's gonna draw all the attention. He'll be silent. Watch, and I'll be like, damn. And then, sure as shit, he was silent, man. I don't know. But I gotta give it to Dave, dude. Dave. I mean, he's always a contender in fantasy in our league or whatever for season log. But I mean, I have not seen an eruption like this in a while. This guy, what one hell of a season he's had in NFL, man. And to have him win the league, the season long league with just what's the word I'm searching here for, Mr. Word Association? Culmination, yes. Okay. Jinx,
nice.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke. Yeah, it'll bring the whole culmination of his fantasy sports campaign, so to speak. So, yeah. There it is.
I'm on a little bit of a hot streak right now, but
you are a little bit, you modest mouse. Yeah, I doubt it, dog.
Well, my fantasy team is relatively average, but squeaked out a lot of W's this year. And just hammered Wagner's team last week. Calvin Johnson, big fat one catch. Thanks for showing up.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Megatron.
Always
$18 million salary.
Right. No kidding.
Each.
All right.
All right, Wags, you got any sleepers? Quarterback?
Yeah, the sleeper that I had was Bortles. I mean, going up against that Saints defense, allowing 276 yards through the air per game. It's no surprise. He's got an offense, to unleash that cannon of his between Robinson and Allen Robinson and Hearns. The guy that I would like to see coming out of the backfield is Denard Robinson as well, right? Is that
yeah.
I mean, I think that's got to be one of the locks. I'm not trying to make an early segue into running backs here, but I mean, this guy. I mean, I kind of just did. I'm notorious for that. I'm notorious for jumping the gun, man. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, New Orleans is also lousy on defense through the ground too. So I think it's going to be an offensive show for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, it's like you said. When's the last time we've seen or heard Jacksonville and just going off exploding in December? And the time is now. I mean, Christ, it's 40 points here, 50 points there, 40 points there. Look for another eruption of 50 points. I think it could be a big day for Blake Bortles.
For sure. I want to get to two guys real quick before we hit the running back position. Alex Smith, actually both of these guys, 5,100. Alex Smith, 5,100, going against Cleveland. Hey, listen, Jeremy Macklin's on his side, and also Travis Kelce. I understand the running game's been pretty well, but at 5,100, you're not asking for much out of Alex Smith. Hopefully 2 touchdowns. And Ryan Tannehill, also 5,100 there, going up against the Colts this week. They're at home. Again, just a team that's been underachieving greatly. He's got a slate of weapons, but I look at the prices on these guys with the weapons that they have. I mean, why not take a shot? They're both at home,
Right.
so both not bad plays at all. All right, let's get to the running back position. I got a pick that Zedek's gonna like here, but Wags, let's kick it off with you at the RB spot.
Well, I mean, for my running back this week, it's got to be Sharkhandrick West. We hear our boy Sweet talk about him all the time. This guy seems to be his favorite running back, especially for the value. Priced at 5,700 on DraftKings. I think going up against the Cleveland Browns, it's just a no-brainer here. That Cleveland defense is just god-awful on the ground, allowing 134 yards per carry, per game. That's just under 135, really. It's second worst, right behind New Orleans, who's notorious for having a lousy defense. This has got to be my guy. Andy Reid likes to get busy on the ground, and Sharkhandrick West seems to be the Cadillac, man. So there's my guy, man. That's my lock, 5,700.
Yeah, and in that game as well, Kansas City is just a massive favorite at 12 points. So anytime that you have a small spread like that, and a large spread, and then you have a small total like that, definitely a great spot to target a running back there. Zedek, what do you got as a lock at running back?
Man. Again, Wagner didn't brief me on all that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I did not. I prepped him for about 10 minutes of show, but this is good spontaneous work. This is putting
as far as a running back lock, the running back lock, that might be a little tough, but you might be able to go with Doug Martin. He hits that middle of the road kind of tier running back, 6,600. It's that in between price point where it makes you make or break you, but he's going against Chicago.
Is that
Jay
you trying to get on my
Cutler
good
can't
side?
stay on the D.
You trying to get on my good side, bro?
Oh no! I caught your notes. I downloaded them earlier. But I got him. He's looking at some spots in my early lineups while I'm going through them here. Yeah, the 6,600 is a good price. Chicago's average at best. It's at home. The weather's supposed to be nice. I checked that out. So for all you degenerates out there, look at the weather. Yeah, I just did that. And Jay Cutler just throws picks every week, so they're going to get plenty of chances on offense.
Nice. That's a little nice little peek at the crystal ball for when we get to the defenses. I dig it. But I dig the Doug Martin pick. I actually got him as one of my wild cards this week. But hey, look, if we're giving praise, I got to give it right back to you with D'Angelo Williams right there, 6,500 at Baltimore. I like this, and again, we talked about how much of an ass kicking this should be. So,
It better be.
D'Angelo Williams, he gets busy. Last week we talked about Sharkhandrick West, and we said, listen, Kansas City's going to kick their ass. And, you take a look at the statistics that DraftKings gives out there, and it says that Baltimore, they're the 4th or 5th or 6th best ranked team going against running backs. We knew that they were going to get their ass kicked really bad, and that this would prove for a lot of points for Sharkhandrick West. I see the same exact thing happen this weekend, and the better part of that is that D'Angelo Williams catches passes as well. So
Absolutely.
That's what I talk about when I say a lock. I absolutely hate spending up money for the running back position. There's always a value there at running back where you can get a guy for 4,000, 5,000, or 500, something like that. So 6,500 is a little more than I want to spend for a running back, but in a game where I know one team is going to clobber the other side, I don't mind going D'Angelo Williams at all.
I like it.
Of course you do. You're a Steelers fan.
Yeah, is that a non-biased opinion there, or?
No. You can see the Super Bowl poster back here. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, the Bucks got their first win against the Steelers. I don't want to talk about it. That's ridiculous. We got Jameis Winston out of the mix. We probably could have got him a lot easier, All right, we're on the sleepers at running back. So, Zedek, I know you said George Bell was your guy.
Yes,
the
sir.
Sleeper position. All right, so Wags, who you got here at sleeper?
My guy was what Dave took at the lock. I mean, Martin. I don't know how I know I'm going to hit with your with your sleeper with your sleeper value position here. But I mean, I just think when he does his damage, he does it quietly. So to me, I mean, this guy, I think he's under the radar this week. I don't know how going up against that Chicago defense that allows 125 on the ground. That's god awful.
You mean this Doug Martin?
Right. Yes, doggy.
That one.
But I guess my question to you, in that you being the resident Bucks fan and fantasy analyst.
Resident Bucks advisor. We gotta
Resident Bucks advisor. There we go. I like that. That's kind of good.
I gotta get a sticker for myself at the bottom here.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, so what's the chances of Sims taking away of Charles Sims taking away carries from or touches from Doug Martin? I mean, that's my only thing that would make me a little bit reluctant for Martin being my number one lock, and I guess that's what bumps him down to a sleeper value, a sleeper pick here.
It's an interesting scenario because we are at the time of year where now teams are just done, with certain players. I agree. Doug Martin is a guy that the Bucks want to bring back next year. This was his contract year, and no coincidence that he had a career year this year.
Absolutely. Now, do you think they give touches to Sims?
Yeah, for sure.
To shop to somewhat, I guess, so to speak, shop him out.
I would not. Sims will be there. He's not going anywhere. But what I do think is, they definitely want to re-sign Doug Martin. So why risk him getting injured? I mean, yeah, you're going to put him out there for a couple of series, but you're not going to make him the bell cow that he was normally throughout the season when you needed wins. So, yeah, I would probably look at maybe 15 to 18 carries from Doug Martin this week, as opposed to the 20 to 25 that he's usually expected to see. I think he's a safe spot to roster, but I think if you do have some sort of conundrum where it's like, oh, do I go Doug Martin or do I go D'Angelo Williams? I think D'Angelo Williams is a safer guy because they are still in a playoff scenario, and he is the lone back there in Pittsburgh. So that is a good topic to bring up. Very good. All right,
I'll try. I have my moments.
That's a silly buck set. I can't even concentrate when I talk with all that stuff. All right, with sleepers for running backs, I'm going to go real crazy. Basically, both two of the same kind of backs, but I think that they're both valuable in a sense that the game plan will go according to their style. So Theo Riddick, 4,100, going up against the Niners this week. Now, we saw Riddick drop a dud. I specifically saw him drop a dud because I needed a shit ton of fantasy points out of him in season long last year. But this is how it goes. When you pick a guy 1 week and he doesn't perform for you, he absolutely shines the next week. That's just how it goes.
I mean, true. That's nature of the beast.
But again, especially if the Lions decide to say Calvin Johnson for this one, you could definitely assuredly. That's not what my journalism teachers taught me, but you could be very assured that Riddick will see a lot more touches in this one. At one point this season, he was the second leading running back in terms of receptions this year. I don't know if you watched the entire game on Monday night, you saw that ridiculous juke move that he put on one of the New Orleans DBs there and got a nice little 20-yard gain out of it. Just a guy that's definitely going to get himself a little bit of touches. Hey, look, if he gets a touchdown, you're probably the only one with him this week in a Sunday slate-wide league. But yeah, again, it's a sleeper position, so I'm not banking on it heavily. The other guy, my neck of the woods, Bilal Powell, 3,900. This guy has been looking amazing the last couple of weeks. For whatever reason, Chris Ivory's been running around with cinder blocks on his feet. Bilal Powell, he even got a touchdown on Saturday there against the Cowboys. Again, 3,900. Put him in there as a flex spot. I like him a lot, especially going against the Patriots where they're going to have to be throwing a lot this week. Definitely love me some Bilal Powell.
Yeah, you bring up a great point. I think Bilal Powell, I mean, this guy is definitely taking the reins over behind this powerful, offensive weapon called the Jets, which is I'm mind-boggled over it.
Excuse me, what'd you say?
I'm telling you, man, they're impressive, dude. Did
not you just use offensive powerhouse and Jets in the same sentence?
I did. I could not. I can't believe I'm still saying it. I just didn't see this Jets offense doing this. And maybe, I mean, well, when it first started out, I guess it was supposed to be Geno Smith, and then you get the backup, and it's Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's had his moments, but is also notorious for making interceptions and
The
picks.
the greatest punch in East Rutherford history.
I'm telling you, right? But look, I mean, I guess behind the beard lies Chuck Norris's beard with Ryan Fitzpatrick. It's going well for this offensive beast, I guess, this offensive green machine of the Jets.
Somebody say juggernaut. Somebody say juggernaut.
The juggernaut. The offensive juggernaut. However, I just think, Chris Ivory, he let me down, dude. I don't know what happened with that. Zidek took it away and stole the show, with the letdown and with Chris Ivory. Used it advantageously and advanced to the finals of my championship league that I'm the commissioner of. But Powell is the man. He, like I said, he's taking it over. It's a good show for him. He can catch it out of the backfield, and he can get around the side pretty nasty. Tough play.
I love me some Bilal Powell this week.
Plow. Just kind of let fall out your mouth.
I thought you were saying Pau Gasol earlier. I had no idea it was
Wow.
By the way, Matthew Barnes, I will be taking a dump and putting it in a bag and lighting it on fire in front of your front doorstep because you screwed me royally this evening. Carry on. Moving along. All right, so any other running backs before we get to the ball catchers?
Yeah, I gotta. There's a little bit of a debate there going down there in Jacksonville. I mean, with New Orleans just being god awful on defense, giving up just under 140 yards on the ground per game. I mean, who to play from this Jacksonville backfield? Is it Yeldon or is it Robinson? I mean, I think you got to go with Robinson here. He's the one that's been productive of late. I don't know how effective Yeldon's going to be coming off of that injury. Both backs are somewhat nicked up, but Robinson's had the hot hand here. I feel like this guy can do a lot more coming out of the backfield. I mean, what's not to like? I mean, this guy's he's got a decent he's still priced a little high. You're gonna pay around $5,500 for him. I don't know the price right off the top of my head, but I mean, going up against that stat, New Orleans allowing 138 yards on the ground. That's awful, man. That's ridiculous.
Shit.
Awful.
So, Zedek, I gotta ask you now that we're at the halfway point of the show. At what point did you realize that when you won this 10K that you were gonna have something spectacular? And by the way, if you're joining us late, Dave Zidek joining us in for Chris Sweet this week. Dave Zidek won 10K in a DraftKings contest this week. Actually came in third place overall, which is pretty damn good. But at what point was it where you were like, oh shit, maybe I could charge some shit to the credit card that I usually don't?
Well, I was about to go make it rain in the club, but on, I guess, on Sunday evening, I was in second place. But as everybody knows, you can't see who you're up against until their game has started. And after
Real
Sunday
quick,
night,
sorry to interrupt you. What was second place?
Second place was 15. First place was 20.
Okay.
But Sunday evening after that game was over, I was looking great because I had a John running back from the Cardinals, so I was sitting pretty. But I knew everybody had a couple people left, but most of it was a flex and or a receiver. So I was stuck on second place, looking good, but not knowing really where I stood because it was all within maybe 20 points. And if you got one player that goes off, 20 points is nothing.
Right.
So once the game started on Monday, I saw, I was up against Ebron in one league, or one lineup, and then I was up against Golden Tate, and he was going off. So that really had me sweating in the second half, and they just kept throwing it to him. I think he might have scored 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
but
he did.
I ended up finishing obviously in third, but I was 2 points away from falling all the way down like 6th or 7th, which would only be 1,000, which is but a far cry from 10.
Yeah. Now, how many people in total were in the contest that you were in?
It was 41,500 and some change.
Shit. Why?
Yeah.
Did you go play the lottery that night? Damn.
No.
$9 card, I think he said too.
$9 card, 41.5 was the participant level. It was right 41.5 something. But yeah, $9
Now, hold
card.
on. I want our fans to hear the best part about this. How many lineups did you play in this contest?
Just one.
One.
The single bullet always gets him. Always gets him. Very nice. Very nice. Good to hear. I mean, look, these are the kind of success stories that we have. So if you have if you have a similar success story, you see this right here, this name right down here. I'm trying to line it up with my finger, but Outlaws DFS, tweet me here. We definitely want to have you on the show. This is the kind of thing that we like to hear about, you know?
Absolutely.
Regular dudes winning money.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's great. I mean, Dave, I know you got to run. I know you got a lot of stuff to do. We really appreciate you having having the time to come on here. If you got more time, if you want to, feel free to stay on the show longer. But I know you got to get busy or whatnot. I guess I'll give you the floor. You want to address your followers, your fans that have been tweeting at me trying to get you to get on the internet. So this is a perfect time to give them a nice little message to let them know who you are and what you're all about, brother.
That's right. I am going to get running here because I got to write a follow-up article for the Wagner Wire. You can check me out at Just the Tip, and got to check it out. Stats don't lie, and regular guys can win money. Follow some good advice from I got some trending wins here lately, multiple wins, and the big one. Obviously not going to win the big one every week, but check it out, thewagnerwire.com, and check out the article Just the Tip. And if you don't know what Just the Tip is, ask your girlfriend.
Oh! Damn.
Bravo. David, thank you very much. Very kind. Thanks for giving us your time, man. Give Kathleen my best.
All right, fellas. Thanks. Appreciate it. Good luck.
And if you want to reach Dave Zidek, his cell phone number is 516-927-8348. I probably just gave the number away to some poor taxi stand in Omaha, Nebraska.
Maybe so.
But I think he's actually on Google Plus, so you can stop tweeting at me about him and start looking for him on Google Plus.
Oh, you love it. You love it.
He
Not really.
He loves it. He loves it.
Really.
He loves it.
He loves the secondhand tweets. He loves it.
Right, for sure.
All right,
fellas.
Dave.
Take care. Thanks.
Yep.
Dave Zidek making his first appearance here on the Big Three DFS show. That was impressive, man.
Absolutely. And, you said it best, dude. It couldn't happen to a better guy. I mean, just your average dude that gets up and does his routine, man. And he plays one lineup, what we always preach, brother. And it's good to know, especially when it's it's such a close radius as it is here, man. Doing great things, man. It's just testament to what we're doing and what we love, man.
Yeah, and by the way, when I said it couldn't happen to a better guy, I meant myself, in the future. It could happen to me, but it just hasn't yet.
Right. Well, I mean, it's that good karma, dude. It comes around.
I don't know Dave from a hole in the wall. He could be a total jerk for all I know. I don't know.
He's good. You're absolutely right. He could be an ass.
I'm kidding. I mean, hell,
you should have seen him on the football. When we used to play. I mean, he was the trash talker of trash talkers. So not many people like him. So.
Well, he's a Steelers fan, so I can see exactly where that all comes from.
Yeah, he's good guy, impressive guy.
All right. Let's get along to our wide receivers this week. It's the lock section. Let me lead it off since I haven't got a section to lead off yet.
Absolutely.
But Dave just left. He would have been very proud of this one. AB, Antonio Brown, 9,300 going up against the Ravens. Who the hell is going to stop him? I don't think so. Anybody. Now, he's a lock to get some points. If you want to put him in your cash games, something like that. I'm not going to advocate this for a tournament play because this is not going to be a back-and-forth game. This is going to be a one-sided ass-kicking contest. And the Steelers are going to be wearing the shoes in this one.
Right.
Now, look, you want to take a bullet with it, take it single entry tournament, by all means, have a blast. But This is not the guy that's going to get you 47 points this week. He'll get you 27, something along those lines. But yeah, he's definitely a guy that you can expect some points from. And if he gets shut down, then there's something wrong with this universe.
Right, it's just not meant to happen, I guess. I don't know. I don't get it. I just I don't, like you said, man. It's I guess it's the gift of the gods. When the fantasy football gods frown upon you, they really do. So.
Oh yeah. I've had it happen to me plenty. I had it happen to me this week. I'm not going to get into my season long. So we'll just keep chugging along with this. Nobody wants to hear about my season long.
On. Well, I mean, yeah, I kind of do. I'm intrigued.
Well, we can talk about it on our own time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we also, we
I just got 8 tweets that said, "Thank God, thank God." Is there nothing worse than when you're in a conversation like you and like 4 or 5 of your buddies, and they're like, "Oh God, yeah, last week in my fantasy league," and you're like, "Oh my God, shut up!" Like this girl's dancing, jumping up and down over here. Like I don't want to hear about it. God damn.
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe they want to hear. They want to talk about it with you because maybe they look up to you for being such a good fantasy stalwart like yourself.
Doubtful. Very
doubtful.
Wow,
you saying everybody at home hates or something? Yeah.
Basically. Isn't that how it goes everywhere?
That's the theme, apparently, I guess.
All right, if we're going with another lock, A-Rob. He's one of our favorites on the show. 7,500 at New Orleans. We talked about Blake Bortles. We talked about this Jacksonville offense, how they're just going to be clicking on all cylinders this week. I don't care if the Saints win. The Jacksonville Jaguars are still going to get theirs with points.
Absolutely.
Allen Robinson's the guy to do it. I'm sure we can get some Hearns in the mix and Julius, but, A-Rob is my guy. I can't fade away.
Right on.
Oh, and by the way.
So is that your lock B? Is that so?
Yeah, that's my lock.
If you're not going to play AB, that's definitely for that tier of a receiver, so to speak.
Right. Well, you know what I do? I go cheap at the running back every week, and then I basically have like 3 locks at the wide receiver position. But speaking of the wide receiver position, did you hear Justin Blackmon just got his 3rd DUI arrest this week? This guy just can't stay.
Can't get out of his way, man. Jeez.
He's like me in my 2nd year of college. He's a horrible human being. Damn.
I don't know. I mean, the guy's he's definitely got some problems, man. I wish him the best. That's for sure.
He likes the booze and some hookers.
Well, I don't know about the hookers, but the booze for sure he likes. So, yeah.
Hey, hookers are the one that make you drive when you're drunk from previous experience.
Man, that's a shame, man.
It is.
That's a shame.
All right, no more sappy shit. Who do you got? Lock B. What do you got? Wide receiver that we need to be playing this week?
Well, I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse, man. I had AB too. I mean, my quarterback this week is definitely a lock at Ben Roethlisberger. And like your alternative, we both all said Bortles. Also you can couple him up. I think it just speaks good testament. I think it's a good week to have a and a B lock, and if you're going to have these A and B locks like Robinson and AB, Antonio Brown, go ahead and couple up the quarterbacks with them. They're really similar. Ben Roethlisberger is sitting there priced at 68, and I think Bortles is at 65 or 66, something like that. So it's under 7,000. You're not paying too much for your quarterback for either quarterbacks. I think it's a good tandem for both wide receiver quarterback combos.
I will say, now, this is kind of an oxymoron, but the most risky of the locks has to be that Blake Bortles, Allen Robinson combo, just because they're Jacksonville. That's all.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. They can put up the points, dude. I don't know if it's too much of a risk anymore. You know what I mean? I just
again, what I'm saying, it's like it's such an oxymoron. It's like, yeah, of the locks, they're gonna be locked. Just saying, but if we had to pick a riskiest of them, it has to be Jacksonville, just because they wear black and teal. And gold. That's
for sure. But I would pose an argument of a division rivalry where emotions just stir, and the Ravens show up and really slow down the steal. No, it's not. No,
I like how you did that.
Yeah, it's it's definitely the riskier of the picks going with Jacksonville.
Because I was gonna say no, that's not how, no.
Right.
Do that.
Yeah, it's not how it's gonna go this week. I'm sorry, man. All my Baltimore family and friends. I love the town of Baltimore. I love them. I'm really upset with the GM of the Baltimore Orioles, but we're gonna save that for our baseball segments coming up in transition.
I can't wait for some baseball.
I can't either, man. I'm dying to talk some MLB, baby.
Let's get to some sleepers. Now, in that same game of that Pittsburgh-Baltimore, I'm going to go with one from each side of the ball. I think both we can agree on Martavis Bryant, 5,600 at Baltimore. That's an easy one. But a long shot one, Kamar Aiken, 5,400 for Baltimore. Look, if Baltimore's getting their ass kicked, they got to throw to somebody. Kamar Aiken had a boatload of points last week going up against Kansas City. They are also a weak secondary. They've improved a lot over the course of the season. But the Steelers, not a good secondary at all. So
no, you're right. They're giving up 279 yards per game through the air, dude. I mean, I think you have to have Aiken. I mean, especially for that price, right?
Oh yeah, that price is so right. 5,400.
Don't telling you, man. Call Drew Carey. Now I was gonna say Bob Barker, but Drew Carey took over. So
I'll break your hip.
Right, I'll break your hip.
Wrong movie, but still about an old man.
Price is Right, Bob. Or something like
that. You got any sleepers to lay on the people?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you have to have yourself some of the Maryland Terrapin speed demon here, Stephon Diggs. Going up against my Giants, man. The Giants are still ugly on defense, giving up 309 yards to the air. It wasn't just because Cam is Superman. They're bad.
He's not Superman. He's Superman.
Man, I'm telling you, dude. These guys are just bad. I love the G-Men, man. I do. But I mean, no one knows. We talk about it. We talk about it every week. No one knows our team's inefficiencies better than the fans. You know what I mean? So we know our shortcomings, and our shortcomings is definitely defense, and we can't cover. I mean, I think I told you that they were going to go. I think I specifically said Cam would run for 100 yards, and the guy ran for 100 yards.
Yeah, you sure did.
I just don't understand how we refuse to play defense. I don't know.
I think it's refused. I just think, you're
but now the talent, you have to have the talent somewhere. I mean, there's got to be talent somewhere.
Your best pass rusher has a Thanksgiving turkey leg on one of his hands.
Then that's a problem that we need to upgrade. That is the problem, because we used to have a defensive front four that was so good, so dominant, that it didn't matter what our secondary was. Now that they're subpar, that secondary is exposed, and they're exposed.
I wouldn't even say that the front four is subpar. I mean, I think the linebackers are god awful.
Well, I don't.
And the secondary, I just think the secondary is inexperienced, other than DRC. I think the Giants are, they're a pretty good team. They're just at the linebacker position. I think there's just hole after hole, and injuries have a lot to do with that too. No beasts in there, so there are reasons for it. I mean, we're not gonna sit here and have an excuse pity party for these guys, but there are some reasons why they're not as good as they usually are. Listen, it's usually the Giants defense that carries this team, as you well know. So
absolutely, and it's sad because it's not the case this year.
That's okay. Listen, I'm a Bucs fan. I have one good year every decade, so don't worry.
Okay, I'm with you.
Don't get greedy on me here.
I'm not. Don't you go dying on me now.
Don't you go dying on me, man. Any other wide receivers?
Not for sleeper. I think when we roll into wild cards, yeah.
Okay. As for I'm going to get to the wild cards. The projection system is going apeshit with Jets this week. So I'm glad in my 4-for-4 pick and pool this week I picked Jets +3 going up against the Patriots. I mean, look, if this holds true to the projection system, everything that I see, the Jets should win this game. They love Brandon Marshall. They have Brandon Marshall as the top receiver this whole entire week.
Just so we all know what projection sheet you're looking at, who's the bad boys behind the mix here?
Daily Fantasy Boot Camp. They are amazing. That's Al Smiz there from Roto Grinders. I believe he's with ESPN right now. He does a fantastic job with all this. The basketball projection sheet leaves a little something to be desired. But listen, that's a daily thing. But their football projections on point every single week. Just amazing stuff. But yeah, he's got Brandon Marshall atop the projection system this week. So definitely something we should take a look out for. Listen, and they've had Doug Baldwin atop the projection sheet the 4 weeks that he's gone on a span. So, definitely pay attention.
Proof is in the pudding, Bill Cosby. Proof is in the pudding.
Sure is. But yeah, other than that, I mean, look, if Marshall isn't going to be the guy, then Decker could very well be the guy. Marshall's at 7,600, Decker 6,500. Decker still holding that streak, I believe, of over 10 points in every single game this season, which is just phenomenal because you have receivers like DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, Des Bryant, guys like that who haven't done that all year. So definitely something I want to have a part of. But it was a lot more intriguing, or a lot more good to want to have. Having Decker underneath that $6,000 price point. So now that he's up at 6,500, it's a little risky, but the projection sheet loves the Jets this week. So definitely take a look.
And Decker is Mr. Consistency. I think we've proven that this year in the NFL.
Oh, my God.
Every week he's getting you 15. He's getting you a touchdown.
I need to see this. His last 4 games, at least 17 points, and just take a look at his game log. It's sick. That's it. And his wife's hot, so he's got the confidence.
Hey, there you go. That's all you need, man.
Hey, according to Moneyball, that is all you need. And by the way, Decker 70 yards short of 1,000 on the season. So
that's impressive, dude. Especially this guy was almost forgotten about when he was in Denver.
I'm pulling for my white receivers, so go get it, kid. Go get it.
All right, so I guess the wild cards here. I'm going to let you take that wild card one more time, boss.
Yeah, again, Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker. Love these guys this week. The projection system, Daily Fantasy Boot Camp. They love them. I swear by those projections each week. So definitely definitely the Jets receivers that you want to have. Now, depending on what your budget is, I would say budget not around these guys, but make your budget elsewhere. And then see if Decker or Marshall fits
in.
And then that way you can have an easy decision like that.
Right on. That's one way to take it. My wild card that I got to go with is coming no other than the Jacksonville Jaguars. You mentioned them a little bit. It's not Allen Robinson, but his partner in crime, man, Hearns, man, on the other side of the field.
The other A dot.
The other A. Yes, absolutely, man. This dude, we've said it all, all segment long. 276 yards through the air is what New Orleans, the Aints. They are. I'm sorry, I had to drop that Aints in there. They ain't playing defense down there in New Orleans. So 276 yards through the air. It's going to be ugly. I think it's going to be a lot of offense. We've said it, Jets, Jacksonville, those wide receivers. It's a good explosive offense. I think they're due to erupt again. The numbers don't lie. They're just there. They help people get $10,000, man. I mean, do it.
Do it. Now, Jacksonville actually still up for a playoff spot this year, which is shocking.
It's the South, dude. I mean, they're a good team. It's there's no defense in that South. That's the thing.
There's no defense in the entire league.
Absolutely. Great things. Absolutely.
Now,
absolutely. When did we ever see consecutive weeks of quarterbacks just throwing 5 touchdowns?
Remember how bad the Colts were with Andrew Luck at quarterback at the beginning of the season? They're still a game out behind the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans could be waltzing into the playoffs if they win out with Brandon Weeden as their quarterback. So
that's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
Outrageous.
Yeah. And your boys too. I mean, hell. Now a big thing for you guys would be if the Eagles beat the Redskins here on Saturday night. that would be huge for your Giants. And then that way, if you guys somehow – now, I heard conflicting reports today about Odell Beckham Jr. Officially,
he ain't playing.
The appeal did not work in his favor, so ODB is out. But I still like the Giants in this game. Like, look, the Giants, they're at their best when they're against all odds. I still think that they're going to find a way to get this game out. Look, Teddy Bridgewater, he's a good quarterback, but he's not somebody that puts a fear in me if I'm a defender.
No, but I mean the Giants. We don't handle. I'm sorry to cut you off, but we don't handle mobile quarterbacks well. We don't handle people that can carve up the middle of the field well because, and frankly, we can't defend, and that's a vulnerable spot, and that's where they're going to attack. And Bridgewater, with Adrian Peterson in your backfield, you're going to have that defense sucking up, which I think it's going to be great for the read option. I mean, that's why we can't cover that read option. And you have a quarterback that's fast and that can attack that edge. Can you see a waggle? That's why I got Diggs in my lineup this week. And Diggs is going to be huge. Yeah. It's going to be a huge day. And you know what? We forgot. We actually bypassed the wild card quarterbacks. Bridgewater, great call. Bridgewater's my wild card quarterback.
I don't like him. I'm not a fan. Never been a Bridgewater fan.
I'm just against the Giants allowing 309 yards. I'll take it. Price that low.
My best friend Matt and I, when I did my radio show in Bayonne, we had a discussion one time. Who's going to be a better quarterback in the future, Teddy Bridgewater or Teddy Biz, or Taj Boyd? And I said, I'll take anybody over Teddy Biz. I want Taj Boyd. Give me Taj Boyd. And I lost that one, but I did.
You thought that one pretty bad.
I did say though, in that draft, my favorite player of the entire draft was Jordan Matthews. So I said, coming out of the draft, I said he reminds me of a poor man's Larry Fitzgerald.
He's just, you know what it is? I don't know if he's just got the right people thrown to him. I don't know.
He was amazing at Vanderbilt. Unbelievable.
Absolutely. He's my keeper. I mean, I had him for a keeper league in season long, man. And we've come to that time in the season actually, and I wanted to throw this before I forgot about it. I've been playing Yahoo. I've been playing season long on Yahoo for a lot of years. And I know it's great. I know it's what we're familiar with and what we're used to. I'm so glad I stepped outside my box this year and went with Bill Parsons' Maximum Fantasy Sports. The season long, it's tremendous. It's great. 3-player trades. You also have the option to play DFS. And if you don't like playing, full season long leagues, also he's got what's called block leagues where you play for like a month. For 4 weeks, so you don't have to get you got some you got like a longer duration of a championship or a tournament, so to speak. I don't know, it's good. It's a lot of options out there. Check them out. MaximumFantasySports.com. They do sports and they do it well. I highly recommend them at the Wagner Wire.
Sure. And I highly recommend you go out for a night on the town with Bill Parsons.
Absolutely.
That man knows how to drink. We went to a whiskey or a gin bar one night.
It was like a prohibition themed style. It was wild, dude. And again, Bill, thank you for a great time. It was a good time.
I made out with a girl with a feather hat and a TV that night.
That's lovely. I love it. I love the feather hat. The feather hat is where it's at.
Only in New York. Where
what's the hell? What's doing the Charleston? Is what they call it? Is that what
they
were doing?
Sure.
They were dancing doing the Charleston down in the basement. That's where when I went to go take a whiz. That's what I saw them doing. I was just like, man, where are we?
I was just grabbing ass at the bar. All right.
Great.
So speaking of making out in teepees, let's talk about some tight ends. Lock of the week. I got to go with Sweets Boy since he's not here. We got to give him some love.
Yeah, get him love.
Antonio Gates, $5,000, going at Oakland this week. He's going into Oakland. Now, I heard Antonio Gates isn't even taking the team bus to Oakland. He's driving his own car to Oakland, all right? And he's just driving in there with a big fuck you flag going against the Raiders this week. He's going to be and then I can't wait. And then he's going to ride right out to where Ben Zobrist used to play second base and then just take a piss on the field. I mean, that's what Antonio Gates does. But listen, we've talked about this all season long, how the Giants are the worst team going up against tight ends. The Raiders were the worst team going up against tight ends. Rivers doesn't have all
in
his
fact, that was Big Game Gary's breakout game, wasn't it, against the Oakland Raiders?
Week 3 like a mug.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, Gates, he's basically the lone member of the wolf pack out there. He'll slit his wrist. He'll talk about it. He says, once there was one and now there are many. It's all Rivers and Gates from here on out. Rivers wants to go out on a high note. Gates is the only man that he knows.
I think so.
For $5,000, we're talking about an elite tight end in the game, Antonio Gates. Again, this does make this is a narrative that we need to talk about. That these are Rivers' last 2 games. Rivers and Gates. This is probably one of the best duos that we've seen since Montana and Rice. So,
you think it's the last time we see this tandem together?
Absolutely, yes, I do.
That's sad, man. That's
Well,
he's probably having a lot of nostalgia this week. So
if the Chargers go to Los Angeles, we've talked about Rivers does not want to go to LA.
Right.
The exact quote: "I don't want to raise my kids in LA." He's an idiot though, because you can still raise your kids 2 hours away and still play in Los Angeles. So
yeah, but I mean, it's still, I mean, it's a hassle that I don't have that many kids, so I have one, and I know it's one of the best jobs I could ever have. It's a lot of time. Takes a lot of work.
I don't have any. I was actually involved in a discussion today that I wanted to get a vasectomy during the middle of the conversation.
It's an insurance policy, right?
Basically.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't gotten anybody pregnant yet, so who knows?
Right on, man.
But yeah, I mean, look, I don't know how we got to making babies and whatnot.
I don't know, but that's what makes our show great, damn it.
Rivers to Gates this week. This is my lock of the week. So, and it's on a Saturday. So, if you're like me, I'm definitely gonna play one of these Christmas Eve and Saturday specials. So that's gonna be the San Diego Oakland game and the Philly Washington game. That'll be a nice little combo to play.
I like it. Like you mentioned, I really like the emotional play there with with Rivers and Gates. They definitely want to ride off into the sunset together, so to speak. No one likes being alone. You know that. Anyhow, Oakland giving up 265 yards. That's impressive. That's enticing to make you want to take those two or take Gates in there. But however, for 100 more, you can get Julius Thomas, who seems to be emerging, coming to life down there in Jacksonville. He's going up against New Orleans. We said it all show again. The New Orleans Saints, the Aints, 276 yards.
If you're a Jacksonville fan, record this show because you'll never hear it again.
Yeah, I'm seriously, man. We are preaching. Please don't let us down, Jacksonville. The show rides solely on your offensive production on Sunday. Please.
If you want Jacksonville to have a football franchise, you will score touchdowns.
And Blake Bortles, my season-long in championship in another league, rides on your arm. So please show up and have an impressive day, please.
Yeah, my best bud Matty Moles, he beat me last week with the Bortles. He didn't hit the combo, but he got enough points there last week. So congratulations, screw him, whatever.
Yeah, be good. Be a good sport, I guess. Congratulations, whatever. I'm still bitter. Both of us, baby. I'm with you. I lost to Cynic.
That one's for Nicky Rodriguez. That was his favorite.
He did. Yeah, that was his favorite his favorite little Materachi thing.
And then it was like.
Yeah, then it was crickets. It's crickets, man.
And then it was like.
All over the place. We would always. I mean, king of the sound effects, man. King of the sound effects.
Indeed. All right. So, any more locks for the tight end position?
Yeah, mine. I mean, it was Gates and Thomas, especially for those price 5,150 or 500, 5,100 and 5,000 for those two. I mean, you can't miss with that.
All right. I had third leg Greg. No discussion necessary. It's the main target in Carolina.
Right.
If you say Ted Ginn's the main target in Carolina, I'll slap you across the face.
No, don't let a couple of weeks, make you get a little crazy there.
That's it. All right. let's get to sleepers for tight ends because I have some tremendous plays.
All right, I got one and one only. It's a sleeper wild card, so to speak. And Kyle Rudolph from the Minnesota Vikings. So that's where I'm going up against my New York Giants, man. We've already been. I've kicked them all. Kicking a horse while it's down, dude. 309 yards through the air. They don't know how to cover tight ends. Al said it earlier. Oakland was the ones that started being the worst of not covering the tight ends, and then the Giants took the reins. They're not giving it up anytime soon. It's your wild card, of the week. I think he's 3,000, somewhere around 3,000 on DraftKings. I don't have a price on him right now.
3,300.
33. So imagine what you can do with that budget left over there, going off against a weak and depleted defense of the New York Giants. Just a shameful. I'm sorry, Giants fans. Just aren't you? I mean, you feel me though. I know if you're watching the same games, you feel me. Damn it.
Hey, you can make it rain like a mug.
I'm trying to stay poised.
All right, I too had Rudolph as my sleeper tight end, but we got to go to an old friend of the show. I'm talking about as far back as week 1. I'm talking about as far back as the preseason when I wrote the preseason article and I said this guy's going to be a pretty damn good player. I'm talking about a Hail Mary catcher. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yes. Let's get it. Rodgers to Rodgers. Rodgers to Rodgers.
Old Richie Raj here. $4,000 going up against Arizona. Now, I love Green Bay outright in this game. One of the things that I haven't talked about this week are the spreads on some of these games. I want to take it like Tampa Bay -3. They're going to blow the doors off Chicago. Tampa Bay, the last 2 weeks, they played with a sense that they were going to the playoffs. Now I think they're a little more loose. They can finally, kind of heal themselves while they're playing this game. Another spread this week that I really love, New England going up against the Jets. I love the Jets. It's such an easy line, too. At New York this week, at East Rutherford this week. Jets are +3. It's such a layup because everybody's going to be on the Patriots. Jets are +3, and we already talked about the projection system about how much they love, the Jets this week. But the one I love so much is this Green Bay Arizona game. I love Green Bay to win this game outright. Now you take a look at what happened.
Because they have to, so to speak.
What's up?
Because they have to, so to speak, pretty much.
Yeah, I want to say that, but the biggest loss that Arizona suffered last week was Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger.
Great point.
And by the way, I absolutely hate the way back in college, in the college games, when Brent Musburger would say, "Oh, Honey Badger." I hated the way he said it.
Nate Boyer, the Green Beret. I love Nate. I've talked to Nate a few times, but I can't stand how Musburger does that. I got my thing, dude. I got my thing that I don't like. I'm sorry. I mean, no, the guy's tremendous. He's tremendous in journalism and sports broadcast.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, Musburger is one of the best.
You're great. I just can't stand when you do that stuff.
I did not like every time Matthew was on anywhere in the pan of the camera. They're like, the Honey Badger scratched his face, and it was like, all right, he just liked to say Honey Badger as much as he could. Now, back to where we're at.
Those buzzwords, I'm sure you get a list of buzzwords to say while you're on the air. So.
Now, at the end of the last game, Carson Palmer even talked about, they had him for a post-game interview. He said, listen, I really don't even feel like talking about the win. We just lost, Matthew. We're not in a good spot. And they're not, And to tell you the truth, Arizona's kind of been slipping here over the last couple of weeks, as Green Bay has kind of been trending up the last couple. Ever since that Thanksgiving game, I think they kind of realized, all right, maybe we're not as invincible as we think we are. Now, the whole thing could apply to the whole Green Bay team. I just know for a fact that Arizona is not very good against covering the tight end. Where does the Honey Badger come into play? Well, he's a safety.
In the middle
field. Has a lot to do with that. So, look,
absolutely.
Arizona has a very solid roster, top to bottom. There's nothing to not write home about with them.
Right.
It's just he's an elite safety in this league, and
Absolutely.
this is going to cause a
steal
problem.
of that draft too.
Arizona has already had problems covering the tight end while the Honey Badger was in there. So now that they don't have him, I can definitely see 2 touchdowns from Richie Rodgers this week.
I love it. Great pick. That's what I was going to bring. I was going to bring that that point up with Tyrann Mathieu being out. So I think he's
baby.
He's a tremendous asset. He's such a don't get me wrong. Patrick Peterson, he's great too. I mean that whole defense is a solid core. But
they got half the LSU secondary. They got half the LSU secondary there.
Exactly. It's and I'm sure that chemistry speaks for itself. You see quarterbacks and wide receivers give the look. I'm sure it exists the same way or goes the same way between safeties and corners. As a matter of fact, I know. I played the game. You played the game.
Playing football.
I'm just saying. All right, well, for sure. But flag, it still counts. I mean, especially you gotta, you definitely know, blitz the corner and drop back. Do.
I watch enough TV.
Right. But the guy's, Matthew's just so versatile. I think he's the rug that tied the room together, so to speak, to give him about.
That's a good one. I just dropped a rug down this week. That's good.
Right on. I don't know, man. Without him being there, patrolling the middle of that defense, keeping the cornerstone there, I see. God, for that price too, 4,000. Richard Rodgers, get busy, son.
Do it. And I believe that is a 4:00 game.
I don't have that.
Yeah, it is. So there's your tight end for the 4:00 game, or a flex if you like Benjamin Watson, Julius Thomas. I love me some Richie Rodgers this week.
There's a lot of good value at tight end this week.
Just shout. All right. I got Delaney Walker as a wild card there, 5,600. Not my favorite, but again, a guy that can get loose in the secondary. So definitely take a look. That means he'll probably get 30 points this week since I just brushed over him. All right, to the defenses. Anybody that you have to have this week?
I think, I'm sitting here trying to talk myself out of it because I know how bad they can be on defense, just based off of their numbers here.
Is this the screenshot that you sent before?
Yeah. I gotta have the Pittsburgh Steelers, man.
Hey, according to the projections, you're not wrong.
Really? Please enlighten me. Enlighten me here.
4th best defense on the board, according to the projections by dailyfantasybootcamp.com.
Well, that's great because, at a price of $3,100, I think they got to be in your lineup. I think it's tremendous value. It's not too high. It's not breaking anybody's bank account. It allows you to get some good wide receivers in there, man. I think it's one defense this week for me and one defense only. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers in an emotional division rivalry game.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. You know what, though? If we're talking about, bottom of the barrel price defenses, then Pittsburgh, they're not it.
No, not at 31. No.
Surprisingly, there's a kind of San Francisco, New Orleans, these are guys. But, again, they're just off the $2,000 mark. You got, a San Francisco at $2,300. You got New Orleans at $2,100. So, when you get a defense like that, all you really need is, an interception or two, a couple sacks, maybe not give up a ton of points. But, Pittsburgh just seems safe in the fact that you're not going to give up those, 21 points or, 28. They're not going to get
your 10-point cushion won't be depleted.
Right. And then, and again, with Pittsburgh, you can blow them out real early and then just kind of sit back and then be like, all right, well, now we're going to sack you. Now we're going to try to fumble and pick.
Absolutely.
So I do like that play from Pittsburgh. When you take a look at the defense, you have to look at game flow. The top projected defense on the board is Miami. And I don't like that just because, the game flow. These two teams, they'll probably be neck and neck. The next best defense is the Jets. That I really don't like. I do not want to go against Brady ever. And then and then it's Buffalo before it's Pittsburgh. But Buffalo I could see against Dallas. Kellen Moore. I'm sure they're going to be very highly owned. That one's in Buffalo too, so that could definitely work. That might be the way to go. Oh, it's only 100 more than Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
But if you are trying to go cheap, your options are not good at all this week. Minnesota's there at 2,500. That might be something, but I'm not. I like the Giants to win that game outright. I really do.
Yeah, I hope so, man. Well, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. I think the season is so much of a loss now that I kind of, want to play the cowardly fan game and hope for a better draft pick, so to speak.
Yeah, but you know what? You're not going to get a top 5 pick. You're going to get like a
middle of the road 13th.
Yeah, like our teams are in the same spot, and we're gonna get a better pick because you beat us during the regular season.
Right, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah. So try to win the division, dude. Get it where you fit.
I mean, if anybody can do it, it's us. You know what I mean?
Shit. Yeah, there we are, 6-8, both of us. Holy Moses.
Yeah.
Carolina.
Hey, we just can't get away from each other, baby.
I guess not. Damn. Oh, damn. All right, that ends the show for the evening. We want to thank Dave Zidek for joining us. He is $10,000 richer, so you too can be that way if you listen to our show.
Absolutely. Or write for one of us. Write for all of us. Yeah. Write for yourself. Do it for the community, man. Hey, like we mentioned before, man, get proactive with all this legislation coming down the pike. Protect your right to play, so to speak. That's the campaign going around with DraftKings and FanDuel and all the platforms. And while you're at it, if you're looking for something different, there is a app out there, a DFS platform that also has a social media aspect tied into it. It's called U Stadium. Check them out.
I like those guys. They're good.
They're good. Check them out. So what this works, it's not really so much of a price option, so to speak. You pick tiers. You pick tiers of players. It's really cool, man. Very easy to win. Not many people know about it yet. At least the Sharks don't know about it. So get in there now while the time is hot. It's prime pickings, boys. Use Stadium. Get at them. Follow them on Twitter. It's pretty easy.
I like them too. They're very engaging there on social media.
Absolutely. They make you feel like they've known you for about 10 years, bro.
Indeed. I remember during college football season we were talking about some stuff, and then once the NBA got around, I was like, all right, I'm done with this college football.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, they're football only right now, but I mean they're growing faster than they can bat an eye, so to speak. So they're going to be taking on more DFS stuff. I look for them to have realistically probably MLB coming up. I don't think they're going to be able to get their hands on NBA or NHL anytime soon. That'd be great if they could. And get that going up, but I really look forward to seeing like tier players, so to speak, in baseball. I think that could be really cool.
I think that could be tremendous, and I will be a full slate customer.
Absolutely.
You know what's crazy is that remember like when me and you first started talking, I was like, oh man, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my time over the summer. I don't know if I'm gonna do it. And then baseball. Like I basically cashed out this summer with a profit of almost like $2,000, and then now and I was like, oh man, I can't wait for basketball, and it's like all that shit's just falling out of my hands, and it's like
all you're doing is waiting for baseball now.
Baseball, man. come back to me.
But you and
I need the Aaron Nova starts. I need the Luis Severino starts.
The best call of the year, the Nova.
Remember those streaks we were riding? Like,
oh my god.
Oh, man.
Look, but I mean, you and I talked about it earlier when we were texting back and forth before the show started. I think, our first loves for fan base teams is, mine's the Orioles, yours are the Phils.
Right.
Baseball, man. You used to be,
America's
yeah, exactly. I mean, I think the line in Moneyball is how can you not be a romantic about baseball? I mean, it's so true. It's God,
is
man.
that when Kevin Costner tried to have sex with the
No, it's Brad Pitt. Kevin Costner's Field of Dreams. Kevin Costner's Field of Dreams. If you build it, he will come. Yeah, Ray. Where are you going, Ray?
Minnesota.
I'm telling you, it's Iowa.
Remember they had to pick up the guy from the Yellow
Moonlight
Pages in
Graham.
Minnesota?
Moonlight Graham. Absolutely, man. All right, well, I think we've gone over our time, bro.
We sure did.
It's a great
All right,
show, man.
It was. Again, thanks to Dave Zedek. Again, go follow you at UStadium on Twitter. Me at AlWalsDFS and at The Wagner Wire on Twitter.
Sweet's gonna be back with us on Sunday morning, so don't go pissing your pants yet, fans of the Sweet's treats. He's gonna be back.
I'll be broadcasting live from Bayonne for that one, second time ever. And I don't know if you remember, but the last time I was in Bayonne, I won $400. So
hey, baby,
keep a keen eye.
Do it up on Bayonne for me, man.
Good shout.
Well, hey, man, Al, you have a Merry Christmas, man. It's
indeed.
It's been a great year. You've been one of the better parts of my year, getting to know you, man. So, I don't know. Hey, man. Hey, none of that on the show. Stop.
I can't help it.
No, seriously, man. Merry Christmas to you, brother.
Indeed. Merry Christmas to you, the wife, kid, and all that.
Absolutely.
So, congratulations.
To our fans, Merry Christmas. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you before the new year on Sunday morning.
Indeed. Peace.
Later.